What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the CameraJunkie live stream, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. My name's Lewis, also known as Mr. CameraJunkie, and if it's your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so that you can get the nice CameraJunkie crew welcome. And as tradition goes around here, we always like hanging out. First thing I do is to check out to see exactly who's in the chat, and then we'll get along. All right, so. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button. I always tend to forget to mention those types of things. And right off the rip, we have Parker Jennings saying hello, saying what's up to everyone. And we also have Paul, Mr. Moderator, in the house, saying hello to the fam and saying what's up to Parker. Seems to be a slow night, but we'll get on with it. Thank you, as always, for hanging out. We'll see who else trickles in as we go along. I had a bit of a week this week. Well, a bit of a last 3 days with Aiden. Some of you might have already known this, but he just happened to gotten a little, like a little blister on the pinky of his most dominant hand, his right hand. So it's just been a struggle to try to just keep a band-aid on it and giving it the time to heal, right? But he is just like going at it, and every like couple of hours I'm back to square one with like cleaning up the mess, because he's taken off the bandage or anything and there's just blood everywhere. So I've just been cleaning for like the last 2-3 days, and it's just been tough. That's why we're just hanging out today. Usually I have more of a topic, but I wasn't able to put anything together, so we're hanging out. Yep, Mr. Moderator just put here, says if you got a question, please remember to put a Q colon. I'm up for questions today. Anything is on the table, because we're kind of just hanging out. Now, there's been a lot of things. Something that I did want to touch on, which is actually what I put on the countdown today, which was like get Ecamm, right? I think I got an overlay. There we go. Get Ecamm. I put a little QR code there that you could like link up to, because I am making a concerted effort to try to, boast about this amazing program. I use it every week, and I've been working hard to create a new series of tutorials in Spanish for Ecamm. So that's been in the works. I'd mentioned it before, and I've been working extra hard all this week to try to get that ready. And because of this little hiccup, it's kind of thrown a damper into the creative flow this week. So that's exactly where I'm at. But father first, as always, and he is my main priority. So it just sucks that he's dealing with that, and that I guess we're dealing with it and having to, I guess I'm always catering to him. So it's just tough. It's tough to keep socks on the kid, let alone a bandage. So, but I digress. So Ecamm, I'm gonna actually just kind of demo Ecamm and see some of the new features that is available, because I've kind of been doing those tutorials. So I'm just gonna go through it to see what are some of the new features, or actually just start building some of this stuff together, like this lower third, right? I just did that real quick, and everything is done inside of Ecamm. So let's go demo mode. Why not? All right, let me move some of these windows. Actually, I don't have to, right? We're showing a different screen. No, that's not it. There we go. That's it. Tends to happen when you have multiple monitors. All right. So we have our scenes overlay windows. We have our camera switcher. And one of my favorite features is to actually just skip it. Yeah, kind of remove all the clutter off of that when I'm building out a scene. So let's see what we get into as far as new features go. Oh, it's mostly, I think there's a lot of the skewing aspects. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. You know what? Let me go ahead and go back to the list. Just another thing opening up here. I'm opening up my Slack right now so that I can get the behind the scenes info. Man, that's crazy how much is actually done in Slack since the last time. Did I miss it? No, there it is. Wow, that's a bit. No, perspective, that's exactly what I was going to jump into, right, Paul? I see your comment, but I wanted to get the list of the actual changes. I miss it. Oh man, I think I put it somewhere else. Okay, we're in live demo mode. Let's just run through this aspect. In my live demo mode or in my run of show, I have my intro, my multiple cameras, my comments window, which is the new one here. So if I wanted to bring something up like Paul's comment of perspective. Okay, he put that in there. You know what, Paul? We're going to do it right now because we are doing it. But the thing is that whenever I run my live streams, just to give you, like, I try to keep everything clean. So I don't even have an active browser open. Yeah, like giving you a little bit of foresight. Like I wasn't even able to look up a cities god this week. Okay, that's not it. That's not it either. There we go. Wow. Okay, so we're opening up a window here. And let's go ahead and open up YouTube so that we can find this live stream so that I can see that chat. That's basically all I'm doing. All right. Let's go back to this. Nope, that was not what I was trying to click. Okay, finally got to the chat, and now I'm opening up that article. Perfect. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so you know what? Let's go ahead and I'm just going to read off some of these. That sounds like a better idea. Right? And as I read them off, if one interests me, I'm just going to poke into it and we're going to explore it together. Because some of them, you know, is like add support for displaying Instagram live comments for Instagram accounts linked to Facebook business pages. So that means if you do have a linked account with your Instagram, with your Facebook, like I do, through that account, you'll be able to go live using eCam directly to your Instagram account, and you'd be able to pull up comments just like I have been doing here, like the support comment that Paul just clicked here, right? But in Instagram. So that's dope. Where's my mouse? Okay, the next thing it says add support for comments and join in messages in Twitter, live broadcasts, or X. So it does the same thing. Support for live comments on X. Cool. Add system extension based virtual camera. And it says for Mac OS 13 or newer, Ecamm Live Virtual Camera is now compatible with more applications, including FaceTime, Safari, Keynote, and Discord. So gotta put that into the test. Actually, to be able to use that for FaceTime is dope, because now you'll be able, man, that's actually really dope. I need to go ahead and start utilizing this. And that's the awesomeness of this program, that in all sincerity, I don't even use it to its full potential. It also says it adds new integration. Actually, you know what am I doing here? Let's go to a different scene, because this is the power of Ecamm, right? So instead of just reading this off and you see me read, we could read together. All right, I'm gonna go to my screen share scene. It's there. It's already set up. Look at that. Okay, so we continue. It says adds new integration to send videos directly to scenery with 3 quick edit links options, AI assisted edits, automatic subtitle creation, or custom edits. Now that's a whole nother ball game. I've actually had the ability to be using the scenery integration with Ecamm, and it is super dope. That is actually one of the cooler features of Ecamm's new 4.2, which now on your end screen you'll be able to, or you'll be greeted with 3 buttons to the scenery application. So you know what, right here I'm gonna go ahead and open up right there. So now with the screen share, we're opening up scenery, and you're able to see exactly what I see. And this is the home of the projects, but you'd be able to integrate your videos directly here, which is just like next level. So for example, I have a couple of flow edits here. Oh, that was the previous one. Those are Liza's? I think they are. But where's my original one? Very interesting. This says subtitles. As you can see, these are just the projects that we're working on together. These are shorts. No, this is definitely not the podcast. Okay, let's go back. Okay, and we're doing this in real time. It says a week ago. Let me double click into this. Shorts, master edit, scene 1. Hey Sammy, how you doing? This is definitely not it. Or is it? Oh, it is, but it was cut up. So let's see. I'm looking for the actual original file. Okay, so this is what I was looking to show. Okay, let's get into it. This is the original file, the MKV that I've been looking for. Hi Sly, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out. All right, so this is the new application, scenery.video, and this is an editor that is very similar. And I say similar because it's not the same, but very similar to the same type of functionality and keyboard shortcuts that you would find right in or right out of Final Cut Pro. So it was very easy for me to see those similarities, and the similarities have a lot to do with it being a kind of Mac-based program. So even though it's web-based, the creators of it come from that same background, and it's like Final Cut Pro. It's web based, so as you can see, I'm connected via Chrome, my Chrome browser, and it gives you a lot of functionality that you would get just out of like Final Cut Pro. One of the benefits is that it's an online platform and it's backed up, so being that it's a Chrome browser, you'd be able to hop on a PC, a non-Mac computer, and still have integrations and be able to utilize it the same way. So the integration of, I was getting ahead of myself, you'd be able to use it the same way, and you could integrate like another person, another editor, because this has a very amazing like co-working space. Doc was doing this on his live stream earlier today, talking about scenery. So you could see his live stream as well. He gets into more detail, but I'm just going to show you some of the cool features. So even though it works like Final Cut Pro, there's a main feature, which is what I want to touch into, because we can do the whole hour on scenery easily. Let me know if that interests you, because we can get into it. But as of right now, I'm just going to show you the main thing, which is the artificial intelligence, the AI helper, so to speak, that's built into this, the prompt generator. So these are scenes, and the scenes are basically like the projects that you would find in Final Cut Pro. So even though you have a master file, if you want to create a different project using the same footage and make it a slightly different, then that's what you would find here. Instead of projects, you have scenes, and out of the project assets, right, which are the actual files, your media, excuse me, I just created a cough button, right? I'm gonna use it again. I'm just hearing it for the first time with music, and I recognize that it cut off the music in my ear while I was using it. Let me know if the music continued to pump out for you, or if there was a cut in the music. Let me know, please. That's just interesting. Well, I'm going to continue here, right? So instead of going to an actual scene, a project, right, I'm going to the actual file, and I'm highlighting the original file. And right here is when we can have fun. Once you've done that, you see, like if I have this clicked, this AI assistant button on the top hand is not highlighted. It's once I've actually clicked on the original clip that's already been transcribed and looked into, that I'd be able to have access to clicking this button, and we get a variety of options. Now, this is set under discussion, but you can change this on the drop down menu to general, interview, presentations, you can see, and they're going to have prompts that are ready. Paul said the music didn't cut out. Perfect. It did cut out for me, so that doesn't bother me at all. But I have an active button, cough button, and it's one of my touchpads here on the Rodecaster Pro. So that worked. We'll be making a quick little like YouTube short, so to speak, video about that. Okay, so going back here, we have the general like options, right? And you can see dock preset. Oh man, they already as you can see on, this is just another option, because what I'm demonstrating here is the shared space that we have with Ecamm. So Paul is actually part of this as well, and he'd be able to hop in here and start tinkering around in real time while I'm in this project, because it's in this space. Now, because of it, I also have my own private, options, or my own private space for my own personal videos, so that they don't get mixed in with the Ecamm video. So it's really, really cool, because you'll be able to have both spaces and compartmentalize them, so that you'll never like be mixing one with the other. But as you can see, on top of the prompts that you have the ability to save them. Now you have the most compelling moment, right? You'd be able to clip that out, right? And as soon as you click it, you see that it underneath it says extract the most compelling quotes, such as thought-provoking questions, key insights, and reveal relevant to the topic or message that represents the most compelling moment in this video. And that sounds good. Now, if you wanted to change anything about that, that's where Scenery and their AI assistant is absolutely top notch, next level, because of the simple fact that you'd be able to come in here and change this, like in any way, shape, or form. So let's see if we could. Says specific, summarize key takeaways. Let's see what it says here. It says extract compelling quotes, hooks, or relevant sections for the intended audience that can be combined to create video summary of the key takeaways of the video. You know what? Let's go ahead and just do it. I'm gonna now hit generate, and I'm gonna let Scenery do its thing. So actually, I didn't give it a time limit. That usually depends on how much time this portion takes. So it doesn't seem like it's taking too long. So I'm just going to try to fill in the time with some information. What I'm talking about is that I didn't. Wow, that was pretty fast. That was pretty fast. What I was talking about is that I didn't give it a specific amount of time. So just looking at it right here, right? Looking at the timeline, it looks like we're at basically a bit over a minute and a half of this new scene. So what it did was that I asked it to make this clip, right? This generated AI clip, right, out of the original file. And what it did is that it created a new project, which is called the scene. Inside of that aspect is what we're looking at right now. Hey, how you doing, Kevin? Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Scott made it as well. Let me just bring this up. He's saying what's up to everyone. And also Kevin saying hello to all. All right. And we're going to go back to it. Oh, I did a Doc Rock. All right. So we can scrub through it, but what I'm gonna do right now is just play it to see exactly what moment it decided to pick out of this hour-long live stream. This is hilarious. Okay. This is where the meat of this conversation is. Everything else before that was just absolutely hilarious, right? Because it actually thought that this could have been like a doctoral or doctor medical type of podcast. So that's hilarious. Hey, what's up, Art? Nice to see you, brother. Saying what's up to all. Bring that up here. All right, so that's just hilarious. But where the cursor is now, that's where like the crux, I guess, or the meat of this conversation is coming in. But that was hilarious. So what I would do is I would just select these. Can I should be able to drag. There we go. Select these, and then I'm just gonna Command X. That did not work. Let's see exactly which shortcuts are working and which ones are not. All right. I clicked on this little keyboard icon here at the bottom. Let me make my cursor big so that we can see where's that right there. And that open and close the keyboard shortcuts. Oh, this is just delete. You see, this is where it kind of is not exactly like Final Cut. So I believe if I just hit backspace, boom, they're all gone. Backspace, like delete. Once I was highlighted, I just hit that on the keyboard and we were good to go. So now this is going to start in the meat of the conversation. So let's see where we go from here. Okay. What I've noticed is that the conversation shifted from what I thought I was going to be talking about to more of the AI. So I feel like I could actually clip out the beginning aspect of this as well. And we can just delete that, have it start in this conversation. Okay. See, that's a better line to start with, in my opinion. Okay, so we hear this little bit of a pop, right? There's little kind of like pop right there in the transition. So I'm going to press the plus symbols and we're going to get into it. And I'm hearing this right here. If I can highlight it, it's almost as like the last little bit, it starts speaking again and it clips the audio right here. So I'm just going to scoot that back. Let's see. See? Right there, we just eliminated that little popping sound that we were hearing because we were able to see it visually. Okay, because you see, because right, this little, we're just going to squeeze that in here and we're going to remove it. So now, okay, so let's see what Katie says. It's funny. I think they're talking about scenery. Like, I think this podcast version, they were talking about this integration, or it might have been right now. Okay. See, that's the one negative of scenery, which is you saw the cursor or the timeline cursor just drift away and just disappear. So now I'm gonna press like the negative symbol, right? The minus symbol. Oh, Paul just sent me this. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for that information. I didn't see that. I'm seeing it now. We don't hear the sound from scenery. Okay, let's see here. Let me fix this real quick. Challenge accepted, Paul. We're gonna get the sound out of this because I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it here. Come on, Crisp. We're not done with the live stream popping that up. Okay. We're hearing the music, and let's see here. Okay, so now the music is off. You can hear me, but when I scrub here, that's interesting. Oh, that does make sense. Okay. Let's see. And I know I'm talking to myself. So thanks for hanging in here with me. But I rather understand it before I start explaining it. Okay, so yeah, what's happening is that my audio from... Oh, that's the same message. What's actually happening is that I'm hearing the audio, but it's in the same channels of the Rodecaster Pro #1. So even though I turned off the music, that really doesn't make sense to me, at least, because of the simple fact that if I were to switch this, my secondary input here to the main multi-track, now we're hearing my voice double. Okay, and we're hearing all the background. This is horrible. Yeah. That's not how that works. And I click the system audio. Very interesting. I say challenge accepted because I'm going to have to figure this out. Like, I remember I got Final Cut Pro to play the audio, and it was coming in through there. So it was the system audio, unless this changed. Let's see what happens here now. Okay, so I'm still coming through. We still have music. Still have... Okay, so that's coming through. And now let's see here. Now we have system audio. Okay. I figured it out, and now I'm going to explain to you what's the last little trick. Even though I have everything, you know, set up in audio correct, I still needed to switch my audio source from the computer, from the Rodecaster Pro to the Ecamm app audio. Once I did that, everything seems to work. I'm still routing in audio from my Mac Mini that's going into the Rodecaster Pro. The Rodecaster Pro obviously is picking up my my microphone, and then at the same time now it's all being routed correctly. But I will know for the future that I'm gonna need to set up the app audio first to make sure that we're hearing everything. Okay, which makes a lot more sense if you guys can't hear the audio that I'm listening to Doc Rock and them talking about, and then I'm over here laughing at myself talking about that's hilarious, them talking about medical terms. That's how we do. Live happens. All right, so let's go ahead and press play on this now.
Today will be the crappiest that AI will ever be. There's so many good stuff out there, and yeah, unfortunately they all are very good, and they all very lack. I would spend more time.
Okay, so what I was demonstrating before was that there was a little pop right here. You see? Because if I squeeze that out, that's like where the conversation was going.
Very lack. I would spend more time.
And it was creating a popping sound, but what I did was just squeeze that in there to remove it.
I would spend more time coming up with a system to get the results you want instead of assuming that one is better than the other.
Is like a mix between Opus and Descript and like all of the other tools, and it actually doesn't do video at all. It only, I think it's a little bit wild west, and it's going to be really easy to get whiplash from the amount of tools that are coming out. And
hey, you're trying to do something that's
here. Okay, so now we have these little knobs here at the end, these little dots. That's actually allowing us to see the timeline, but also showing us how zoomed in or zoomed out we are on both of those aspects. So as you can see, when I start like dragging this in, it starts stretching out the timeline and then allows me to scoot across it. So if I were to reverse it, it would like kind of, you know, shrinkify, or, you know, and smallen. Is that how you would say? Instead of in biggen, we would in small. And now it's, as you can see, we fit the entire thing in our timeline. If we want to see this in more detail, then we're also just going to open it up and make it bigger. Now we're able to see the audio waveforms a lot better, at least in my opinion.
one is better than the other.
Is like a mix between Open. It only, I think it's a little bit wild west, and it's going to be really easy to get whiplash from the amount of tools that are coming out. And how
hey, you're trying to do something that's hard.
You see, she says coming out, and that's what we're going to get rid of. Now we're going to stretch this out.
And it actually doesn't do video at all. It only, I think it's a little bit wild west. From the amount of tools that are coming out. And how
hey, you're trying to do something.
And it doesn't do video at all. It only, I think it's a little bit wild.
It says it only. I'm gonna get rid of that it only. So now
it actually doesn't do video at all. I think it's a little bit wild. It doesn't do video at all.
Let's see how
do video at all. I think it's a little bit wild west, and it's going to be
all right. We're gonna squeeze this a little bit here,
and it actually doesn't do video at all. It's a little bit wild west, and it's going to be really easy to get whiplash from the amount of tools that are coming out. And how
hey, you're trying to do something.
And let's get rid of that
amount of tools that are coming out.
Hey, you're trying to do something that's.
He's saying, hey, let's try to clean that up a bit and give it a little bit more than that.
Oh, but hey, you're trying to do.
But hey, he says.
Coming out.
Go, but hey, you're trying to do something that's hard anyway. So, yeah, I know what I'm trying to say is yes, the tools are out there. My favorites are between Opus and Descript. But you know, everything's getting better every single day.
Hey, and it finishes pretty good. So now, let me see. Control Z. Oh, so dopeness. All right, that's a Final Cut Pro shortcut that brings everything within the timeline. So it kind of reset the height, which is fine, but it still brought everything within the timeline. So now that that's done, that's pretty much done, and that's a clip out of an hour-long thing. So it's kind of like Opus clips, but also with Final Cut Pro mixed right into. So if it's, I feel like it sits right in the middle. One of the cool features, the best features, I think, is the integration in real time. So anything that I'm doing here, somebody within my own team is able to see it. So if they wanted to export this clip, I can literally say it's done. And instead of, right, like for example, instead of me exporting the clip, right, that let's say it's a big, you know, it's a big file, hour long, 3 gigs, 5 gigs will be the file. Hypothetically, it could be within that range, right? I would then extract that from the program, download it to my computer. Paul's in it right now, you see? But this is the feature, right? That's really cool. The fact that you can see that Paul's cursor is there hanging out, right? But this is the whole thing. I can export it, right? It'll be a 3 gigabyte file. and then I will then have to upload it to another like sharing service, right? Whether it's a Google Drive, whether it's, you know, a box, Dropbox, you know, like whatever it could be. The cool part about this is that I can tell another member like Paul and be like, the file is ready, and instead of having to transfer all of that, he can just hit export, because he's like, yeah, that's done, right? And he can now go on his computer, export it, and to have that file now in his computer, because he needs to do the next step with it. And I don't have to take all these extra steps of downloading, re-uploading, sharing a link, and then having that person download that file so that they can get the 3 gig file. It's already done, right? So let's say this was the completed podcast. I'll be like, it's ready to go. And anyone within my team has full access to either make a tweak on it themselves or just download the file to take it to the next step. It's cutting out a lot, and I mean a lot of headaches, or like I guess barriers, right? You know, to making this even easier. And the fact that Ecamm now is integrated with Scenery, and you're able to take your files as soon as you're done like broadcasting. So as soon as I'm done with tonight's live stream, I will get a small little prompt that says, hey, you want to upload it to Scenery. And what it's going to do is it's going to put it into its own little project and get it ready. And while I'm not actually doing anything in the program, it'll be kind of like transcoding it and doing a transcription in real time, because the transcription of the file is what allows the AI, which is an LLM, a large language model, to actually understand what the video is talking about and then break the clips down accordingly, because everything has to do with what's being spoken. And that's how all of these AI programs and systems are working as of right now. So Scenery.video, can't recommend it enough. It has a lot, like literally a lot of functionality. You know what, maybe next week I'll do an entire thing on Scenery, because there's so many things with what you can do. You still, like, you're limited. So let me be like, say that right off the rip, right? You're limited in a good way, so to speak. Like, you don't have the ability to just buy a bunch of third-party plugins, right, from Motion VFX and just throw them in there like you can with Final Cut Pro. And that's where that stands alone, and you can still have full access to do that. But this does give you a lot of options to bring in like text and give you certain animations very similar to what Ecamm does, right? The fact that I can hit a button and have a QR code cover my face, right? That couldn't have been better. That couldn't have been better, but right, the fact that you're able to do that, take lower thirds and names and make them twirl and stuff like that, you also have the ability to add that here inside of Scenery. So it's got plenty of tools for you to basically create. And right now, the guy that you're seeing on screen, Doc Rock, is absolutely like enamored with this product because of the creative limitations, let me say, because it's keeping him in a box where he can't go to all the plugins. So he's not spending time combing through plugins, which I could honestly tell you I've done, right? I'm like just looking for the one that pops for me. And if I were to show you my list of plugins, right, for like lower thirds and things like that, I almost feel like I should find one now to brand it, and then just start using that as like my main thing, kind of like the same thing that you would just brand your font, and just work with that so that you can create more content, because that's exactly how he feels. And maybe taking a page out of, you know, Doc Rock's mindset, so to speak, right now, of like the creative limitations, allowing him to create more because he's not spending that time. He's able to look at a project, do a couple of tweaks to it, and go, done. ready for export, send it, and and upload it to wherever is necessary. So scenery.video, highly recommend it, especially if you are an Ecamm fam, if you are an Ecamm mover, Ecamm member. I said mover. I'm reading so many things at the same time. It's like Ecamm movie. If you are a member of the Ecamm fam, highly recommend scenery.video. Okay, so now let's go back to this. Oh, we got Robert in the house. We also have Albert sneaking in here. And Albert asks a question, says, hello, Luis. Is this a cloud-based editing program? And it is. It actually is. It works completely off of the web browser. I am on Chrome. And, for me, for my taste, I wish it wasn't, because I like it, right? But I hope that this program takes the next step where it also has a standalone desktop version. So for example, let me explain. This already exists. Right now, you can go to an application like Descript, right? And use it completely online with your account. But then at the same time, I have a standalone Descript program application that works on my Mac computer, and it works all the time. And the cool part about my standalone application is that it connects to the internet the same way. So it works exactly like the web-based aspect of it, except it's not working on the web-based, or on your browser, better said. So it's taking full functionality of my computer's power and putting it to Descript, and then just uploading the files, connecting to it the same way that it normally would if it were browser based. So that's what my fingers are crossed, and I'm hoping for the future of scenery video. But yeah, hopefully that's coming down the pike, and we'll see that in the future, because I really like using it. But the fact that I could be using it on Mac and somebody else could be using it on Windows, and we're getting the same file, same work done, is next level. So all right. And then Robert's saying hello, says there's no late, man. There's you made it. We're here. Hey, look, Paul, master moderator, he's putting the link, and also putting Ecamm fam has a perk for scenery. So that means being part of the Ecamm fam, you can do your due diligence and get a discount off of it. So there we go. It's time to get it done. Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but I think you're getting your first 30 days trial. So they're giving you 30 days of scenery, so that you can try it as a perk for Ecamm. And that's even for existing members, I believe, just with the release of 4.2. So if I'm wrong, Mr. Moderator is going to correct me, because he's just the shiznit. But we'll find out in just a second if I put my foot in my mouth. Okay. So we were on ads integration and send videos directly into scenery, and we started doing that. Adds an option to prompt for the name of the recorded file with options before and after recording. Okay, so that means that let's say we weren't broadcasting live, right? Okay, so Paul's backing me up on that, saying correct. First 30 days free. Boom. So definitely hit it up, try it out. Make the most out of it. It's a lot of fun. But going back here, right, it adds a prompt for name recording files. If I weren't broadcasting, live to YouTube, to Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever else place that we can, Twitch, if you're not live streaming and you're just doing a recording internally to your computer, you will now be prompted at the same way that you could kind of send it to to scenery, right? In that same prompt window, you have another available option to name the file. So the file that's already being recorded and saved onto your computer, let's say you were doing something like, in particular, I also make Amazon videos, right? So anything that I purchase on Amazon, I will quickly come over here and then go boop, jump to my overhead and do an unboxing. And that's actually been working for me on a whole nother conversational note, right? There we go. Oh, that's looking like ass. I'm just realizing that. I'm OCD. You could tell, right? I have the tendencies. Okay. So, I lost my place. Oh, the prompt recording. So at the end of it, at the end of a recorded file, something like I would do like the overhead, make it exactly for Amazon. As soon as I'm done, instead of looking for the file and it just have the name and date and everything like that, which I would not be able to recognize that, I'll be able to name the folder that it's in and basically say, hey, Amazon, let's say, well, this is kind of one of the new things. Boom. Like this Anchor, right? This Anchor power, what do they call power banks? Yeah. Anchor power bank, USB-C with built-in cable, right? I have that video and I will literally name that file Anchor Power Bank. And then when I go into my files, everything will be named accordingly. So I think that's a pretty cool feature now that you have for recorded files. And I'm going to definitely be taking advantage of it for that same exact reason, to just basically title your files and know exactly what it is that you have recorded in there. It's going to make it a lot easier. Next, we have the perspective sliders. So that's actually something that I'm going to demonstrate right now. So let me go back to Ecamm, because I'm on the browser, right? And I'm going to take the view that I was just so OCD about, and I'm going to skew it towards myself, so that even though it looks like it's here with the shadows that it's casting, it's going to give it more of an effect, like a 3D effect. So let's go ahead and mess around with it. First, what I'm going to do is live demo mode this. Make sure I'm on the right window. Perfect. And now that we're here, we're going to take the perspective of the window. Okay. I'm going to go here and my screen share. We're going to hit the options button, or the cog wheel. And now we're also going to, where is it? Perspective. Boom. Here it is. So I'm going to make my cursor big there so we can see it. Boop. Perspective. And we're going to start skewing with it. Up, not that direction. We're going to skew it towards me. And now, boop. Look at that. It gave it like this 3D effect. And because it's a web page, I think it works better in that manner. 50 is a lot. Where did I leave it? Let's go 25, right? Okay, and now to turn off live demo mode so that you can see exactly what that looks like. Boom, right? So going back to it, right? We have the perspective. We're going to switch that, but we're also going to switch camera A, right? We got my little bubble there. We're going to go ahead and give me a perspective towards the other side. And this one's going to be very light. So let's just do 15, 16. That's fine. Let's just leave it there. Leave that cogwheel. Oh, let's lock. Can't lock it. Oh, because I've already locked the scene. Lock that. Then lock the scene again, so that stays in place. And now we have that. I'm going to take a look at it. I want to make sure that the letters are also skewed, right? That it's not just the window, but everything should be looking correct. It did skew itself, so definitely. Oh, okay, I see exactly what it's doing on my end. You can see the white bubble around actually stays the same size. It's just what the window is perspective inside of it. So that's the perspective skew. And just to get like dramaticals with it, right? Just so that you can see, I left it at 16, how, you know, how it works and what exactly the perspective is doing, right? And how much you could actually switch the image and give it that type of look. Like this just looks weird to me, right? If I'm looking right at the camera, that's why it's way too much. Just gonna bring that back down. 15. Boom. I'll leave it there. All right, and that is perspective. We're gonna go back here, back to the readings, materials. As perspective, adds a vertical safe zone option for to the options menu. Oh, that's right. This has to do with what I was mentioning before, actually, which is that you now have the ability to bring comments from Instagram directly into your live stream, but you could broadcast that directly to Instagram by having it connected through your Facebook. Well, what you can also do is kind of give yourself a safe zone so you know exactly what's being broadcast, even if you're using a 16:9 aspect ratio scene to actually do the broadcast. So what was that word salad jumble thing that I was just trying to say? I'm gonna explain. Let me close this, go back here, right? We're gonna need to go back to the main scene. Okay, so let's say we were broadcasting to Instagram, multi-streaming at the same time. My aspect ratio is going to be widescreen, right? That we're going to be seeing it here for all of like my regular platforms like YouTube, so on and so forth. But Instagram is only going to use like the center portion and is going to cut that out. So all of this is going to be null and void and not being broadcast through Instagram because they're going to be watching it on their phones on a vertical feed. So what Ecamm has done, let's see exactly here. Oh, because I took them off. See, I don't even know where I would find that right now. I know we have the save zones. Oh, I think it was over here. Let me see here in options. Oh, I'm not in live demo mode. Sorry, guys. Trying to show you guys exactly what I'm doing. I'm in live demo mode. I'm over here going through the windows. So I was checking out the options. No, that wasn't what I was trying to do. Let's scroll that down. Okay. I had clicked here and I was opening in the options, and that's why I was just like looking to see exactly through the video. No. And I'm just going through them. But then I said, I think we're going out here. So the output. Okay, there it is. Show vertical safe zones. And it looks like it's Command Shift V. Gonna go ahead. I'll try the shortcut later. Okay, and look what it's telling us. It's saying vertical safe zone is made, adds a shaded area to indicate the zones that are safe for the, like vertical shape video. The shading will not appear in the visible stream. That's why I'm in the live demo mode. Okay. Do not show this message again. We're going to click OK. And as you can see that there's like this clouded little area, right? So if I were to be multi-streaming and Command Shift V, Paul just confirmed. So that will actually just like it said, you can see it here. So you're seeing my live demo mode and you're seeing where I would technically need to stay centered, right, to actually get the feed correctly. And that's just a safe zone. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to turn off live demo mode right now, and you'll see that I haven't touched anything else, but you're not seeing that because that's not being broadcast, right? So like you'd still be able to use the safe zones, have them set so that you can see them visually as the producer of the show, be able to broadcast to YouTube and at the same time to Instagram. They'll be getting the vertical feed. This keeps you centered right in the middle of the shot, but at the same time, unless you're seeing the live demo mode that I'm giving you the access to see what I see exactly on my monitor, you will only see the broadcast, which doesn't actually show the safe zones. And that's the safe zones right there. All right, we are just at the hour. Man, these things always go faster than what I always think. I thought I was going to get deeper into that list, but we got into scenery. Let me know if you guys liked the scenery demo, and if you want more information on that, I can definitely hit that up because I've been messing around with it for over a month. Not entirely because I've been needing to do a lot of work, which is a whole different conversation. But yeah, let me know what you guys think or what you guys want to see me do here to help you out with your own content creation, right? And we did it, guys. This is episode 172. Thanks for hanging out with me as always, because you guys are what make this whole thing go around. Oh, I'm seeing a question here. Let me get to that before we close this thing out. Question. Lewis, out of topic question. Do you have experience with Kajabi or similar courses? Thank you. No, I do not. Not with Kajabi or anything like that. Now, I am going to be doing something as far as a course in the near future. But what I had mentioned before is what I use and what I'm going to be using, which is Fourth Wall. So I did a live stream on Fourth Wall. I'm not sure if you were here for that one, but you know what? Let me see here. We're gonna go to it again. Ooh, real quick. We're back to it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to Fourth Wall. They don't got me in. All right. So this is the back end. Wow, it's been a while. I need to get back in here, but you see we have memberships, which is, you know, I never mentioned this, but thank you to all the members here. Every single one who does it. If you want to do it, you'd be able to do it right here. So this is what I'm looking for. Boom. There we go. This is basically my Fourth Wall, not the back end aspect, but this is where I have my merch on the designs that I've created, where you can, you know, help support me. As you can see, it has direct links to my channel, my Instagram feeds. I forgot that IG was on here. See? It's just been so much been going on in the last month, actually this whole year, but in such a great way. And right at the bottom, you can make a donation, you can send me a message at any time, and also join my membership, which is right here. So that's all part of Fourth Wall. But the same way that you could have the merch, I'm going to have an option here within the store to actually have, like, whether through the membership or anything like that, like the courses is going to be done in this same type manner, whether it be like a membership or something that's purchased outright. I'll be doing it through Fourth Wall one way or another. I already have this set up. But that's it. That's gonna be it for this week. Thank you, Paul, as always, for dropping all the links. You're the man. You're the best. All right, and that's it, guys. As always, thank you for hanging out here with me. You guys are what make this live stream my favorite place to be every single week. This was 172. That's 172 consecutive episodes of the Camera Junkie live stream without skipping a beat. And I gotta thank you all, as always, for hanging out here and making this the place where I want to be week in and week out. You guys rock. So I wish you the best in this upcoming week. I got a lot of things on my plate, and next week we're gonna be doing it all over again, but hopefully I have good news on finished projects and things that I want to just boast about. So that's what's up and coming for this week. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all next week. Same time, same place. Put it on your calendars. Talk to you.